here bright and early. How y'all doing? How's everything going? Thank you so much for waiting on me. Who else here? Let's see ya. I don't know about y'all, but we've been getting some bad weather. I know that majority, at least in the United States, has been getting some rough weather going on. And we are no exception. It has been super windy and wet. And Andy says, woo, now they're gone. Hey, how are you? Thank you for coming on our live. I tell you what, I missed, hey Daisy, what was I trying to say? I missed my Sunday night live. It was just a busy day, and we didn't get home until, I don't know, it was way after dark. So, we're doing good. Doing really good. We just finished supper up and got the kitchen cleaned up after supper. A lot of times, guys, when I do these lives, just to be completely open with you all, when I do these lives, it is dirty kitchen going on, and let's see, hold on, dirty kitchen in the background, because usually I haven't had time to clean up from supper, or supper's halfway done but the other half isn't done, and so usually we are in a mess. But I got supper done, and yep. I got supper done and cleaned up. Look at me go. That's not typically something that happens, but it is. It's happening. While I'm on the live, I had a friend call me, and her little boy's grandmother is in the hospital, and they've give her an hour to live, and so she needs prayer, and her family obviously needs prayer as well. That's a really sad situation. She has cancer, and from what I understand, her organs are failing her. And so she needs prayer. And while I'm on here, I figured I'd ask you all to pray for her as well, and pray for her family, because I'm sure it's a very difficult time right now, and they need all the help that they can get. So I would appreciate if y'all prayed for them. But anyways, I hope everybody is doing well. We, like I said, we've been having some windy, wet weather, but everybody is doing great. And everybody is doing great as far as I know. I know it's awful. I feel awful for them. I think the worst part of that is because I've been in situations where we've had family members in the hospital, and they're just slowly passing away. The worst part is just watching people suffer. It's just having to watch them go through that. And you can just kind of see people in that situation just deteriorate, and their body just fail them. And it's just, it's hard. But besides that, everybody's doing well. All the animals are doing well. And I am looking forward to the new year and what it has to hold. We've got a few things that we've got to get done, and I've got a video that's going to be coming out if I can ever finish it. I started on working on the rabbitry, and as y'all know, we put the rabbits up on that one side, and now that we've sold the goats, we can put the rabbits up on the other side. And so I had to take some hay racks down, but I've got to get that, I think you've seen it in videos, but there's like a cattle panel. that split the barn up, and that was used for the goats for birthing stalls and for, you know, just separation in general. And so I got those hay racks down, and y'all are gonna get a kick out of the video because no, I don't have any news on the goats. I have wanted to ask multiple times, but I don't want to overstep my bounds. Where, you know, I've had conversations with them, and, you know, they seem like really sweet people and stuff, but I don't know them, like, you know, so I don't want to overstep my bounds. I'm hoping they tell me, hoping they let me know how they're doing, but I don't know if it would be appropriate to ask, but hopefully they let me know. If they don't, maybe I'll ask, but like I said, I just don't know if it would be appropriate. I don't want to, I don't know. I thought about it today. I thought about it every day since they left, and then I thought today, should I message them and just see how they're doing? But I don't know if it'll be appropriate. Sadly, I just don't know. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, you want to know just as much as I do. But we'll just have to see. But anyways, I was talking about the rabbitry, and I've got to get that cattle panel down. But y'all, it was a chore trying to get those hay racks down. And so I worked really hard trying to get those hay racks down, and it took 45 minutes, maybe even over 45 minutes a piece, trying to get those hay racks down that we put hay down in. I got so aggravated with one that I got the saw out, and you'll see it in the video, and I just chopped it. I just cut it. I cut it off. Just because I was just done with it. But I have to get the cattle panels out. That way we can, you know, have an open, be built like an open floor space, because essentially it's a wall. And, you know, nobody likes walking through a wall, and, you know, we got to get it down in order to get some of the cages over. I don't even know if we could fit some of the cage, like the bigger gray cages. I don't know if we could fit them over on the other side until we take this down. And so we got to get it down. But I'm kind of getting antsy about it. I talked to Andy, and as y'all know, we have Blue, which is he's our meat mutt, you know, the New Zealand and the Flemish Giant Cross, and we're going to be breeding him to the meat girls. But I've got to get me a breeding age buck for the Rexes. And I'm kind of being picky. Yeah, he's going to have to help me, and he's been working on his own projects, and he hasn't been able to help me, and so that's why it took so long to get the hay feeders down, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't hardly do it by myself, and it was about ridiculous trying to get it down. I didn't even video that much of it because it was so hard, but he just couldn't help me, and so I did it without him, but it was hard doing it without him. And the cattle panel, he's gonna have to help me. I done told him, I said, you're gonna have to help me, and he looked at it and he said, yeah, I'll have to come in here. It's going to be a 2-man job. I don't even think, he would be able to do it, but I know that I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. But I'm getting nervous and antsy, worried that I'm not going to be able to find a breeding age buck for my Rex girls. And, you know, where we're trying to get him 4-H, I don't want to just buy anything. We're looking for a specific color, and of course we're looking for a specific age. He has to be able to breed. And so we've been looking around, but they're hard to find. They're really hard to find. And and Manly is just, he's a couple months shy of where he needs to be. Let's see, September, October, November, December, January. See, I'll need to breed in February, and he'll only be 5 months. And I just don't know I really don't like to breed before 6 months, before they're 6 months old. I just don't like to do it. And so I don't know if I'm just going to have to break my own rule and breed him at 5 months, or, well, he's small too. And so, you know, he's small, and then majority of my girls are ready to go. Like, Beth is ready to go, and Maybelline's ready to go, and, you know, the little brown one, she's not ready. She's the same age as the little buck, and they seem so small. I don't know. They grow so much slower than what I'm used to with the Flemish Giants. Like, the Flemish Giants are going to be ready to be processed in just 2 weeks, including this one, I think. It's either including this one and then 1 more week, or 2 weeks after this one, but I think including this one. And so they're ready to process, and they're already, you know, like, bigger than the mini Rex babies that I had born in September. And, you know, the Flemish Giant and the New Zealand crosses were born in October and November, and they're already bigger. And so that's crazy to me. I'm not used to having smaller rabbits. And so we'll just have to see, which I've done research, and everything that I look up, which I've talked to the breeders, I've talked to many Rex breeders, and they said that they wait till six months, the ones that I've talked to, till they're 6 months old. But everything that I look up says 4 to 6 months old. When it comes to breeders, usually your boys, though, just don't know what to do until they hit about 6 months. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. And so, I don't know. I'm in a pickle. I wish that I could find a buck. Like I said, I'm getting antsy. I've got the rest of this month, and if I was able to find one, I really need to find him in this month, because I want to breed in February, so we can have March babies. And you know, we're going to have a quarantine period. Probably won't be able to be as long as I would like it to. But really, I need to have a quarantine period if I can, which, you know, a lot of times if you get buy from reputable breeders, you know, you won't have any issues with that. But I do like to typically have a quarantine period. So we're just going to have to see what happens. But I'm getting super antsy about that. And, oh, what did I do? Oh, no. Okay. What in the world? What I did? Okay. But that's what's going on. And I put a video out. Let's see. There was something I was wanting to talk about tonight, and I can't. I put a video out the other day about, I guess it would have been the last video. Would it have been today's video? Maybe it's today's video. About when we need to get rid of animals. And I'm curious if people are wanting more content like that. If you all are interested in subjects like that, as you know, like I said, the channel's going to change with the goats being gone. It's going to be a little bit different. I obviously don't have as much chores. You watched that one. Thank you. I obviously don't have as much chores. And obviously, I mean, I could still do goat contents, but I don't have the goats there to do the content on. Like, I've got all this information now about goats, but I'm trying to. I know a lot of my channel has been, you know, like chores and things like that, but I really, you know, showing chores. I really want to try to help people more in the subjects that I know about. So, I don't know absolutely everything. I don't. I don't know absolutely everything, and I don't claim to know everything. But some Appalachian cooking. I have a whole Appalachian cooking channel. We actually had, I told Andy, I said it looked like Easter supper today. For supper, what did we have? Potato salad and deviled eggs, ham, country ham, greens, what else? Corn, or no, not corn, carrots, and mac and cheese. And I thought as I was doing it, I need to do a video on this because people want to see it, but I didn't. I didn't do it. It took a while to get that meal together, but it looked like my plate looked like like Easter. I'll probably put a short out about it. Yeah, it was delicious. It was delicious. It had been a while since I'd made potato salad. Lakin doesn't like it, and Andy is very particular about his potato salad. He doesn't like. He'll eat Miracle Whip, but he doesn't like mayo, and I don't like Miracle Whip. I can eat it, but it's not my favorite. And so I like mayo, and he doesn't like mayo, and so when I make things like deviled eggs and potato salad and stuff that has mayo in it, I have to be really careful about the amount of mayo that I put in it. And I made that potato salad tonight, and he said, this is good potato salad on his plate. And I said, it seemed a little dry to me. He said, no, it was perfect, but it's because he doesn't like a whole bunch of mayo in his potato salad. But it had been a while since I'd made it because he's so picky about mayo, things that you got to make with mayo in it. And so he's not a big mayo fan. But I've been on a deviled egg kick. Do y'all ever do that? Like, it seems like at least one time a year, and it's not like wintertime or springtime or summertime. It's not a specific time of year, but I get like on a deviled egg kick where I just want deviled eggs like with every meal. I don't know why I'm like that, but I do that. And I do it it seems like every year for like the last 2 or 3 years. Like, I'll have a period of weeks that I want deviled eggs every single day. And I don't know why, but they're really good. They're probably not that good for you, though, I wouldn't think. But I'm an egg eater anyways. We have the same problem. I cut both in half. His Miracle Whip and me mayo, I discovered pickled egg beets. I used to do half and half mayo and half Miracle Whip. Tastes pretty good. I've never tried it half and half, but it's probably because I just can't handle I can't handle Miracle Whip. If he buys Miracle Whip and brings it into the house, I usually have to throw it away because it expires, because he doesn't eat it very much. He might eat it on like a sandwich or something, but we don't have a lot of sandwiches at the house because usually when we're here, we're making full meals. I'm making breakfast, or I'm making lunch, or I'm making dinner. But that's if we're here. Typically, we just have supper here and breakfast, and we eat lunch either not at all or where we're at the farm, his mother makes lunch. But yeah, I've never tried it half and half. That would be pretty good. Pickled egg. I'll tell you what. Do you all like dill pickles or sweet pickles? My mother-in-law canned sweet pickles this year. And it was her first year that I know of her canning pickles since I've been around. And I've been around for 10 years. Canning sweet pickles. And I'm not a big sweet pickle fan. Like store-bought sweet pickles. I've never been able to... I didn't like them. I don't like bread and butter pickles or sweet pickles or anything like that. She made sweet pickles, and she made a potato salad that had sweet pickles in it. And it was probably the best potato salad I've ever tasted. You love sweet pickles? See, I'm not a big sweet pickle fan, but she made the sweet pickles, and I tell you what, it was absolutely delicious in that potato salad. I don't know if it was just because it was potato salad, because I haven't had the pickles just like by themselves, but they were so good. Well, if I could ever figure out how to get crispy pickles, then maybe we could do a video on it. I might have to have her do it, because she canned these sweet pickles, and you bite into them and they've got the perfect crunch. It's the perfect recipe. And so I haven't mastered the crunchy, crispy pickles, but she has. She's got it. And so now we're going to have to transfer that over to dill and see if we can do the same thing with dill as we could with the sweet pickles. I might have to have her. We'll have to have her share the secret. I can't remember where she got the recipe from. Now, she told me, I believe, but they are the crunchiest pickles. I mean, I don't know. They taste fresh. When I ate them the other day, they tasted so fresh, and they had such a wonderful taste in that potato salad. And so I was all for it. I sometimes put pickles in my potato salad, but most of the time I don't. A lot of the time I don't. I do put onion in it. I love onion and potato salad. And I like the sweet pickles in the potato salad the other day. She gave me one jar of the sweet pickles, and I ended up giving them to my dad because I didn't think I was going to like them. And then I had them in that potato salad, and now I'm kind of regretting it. You think he'd give them back to me? He's probably done ate them all. He's probably done ate them. So I'm not gonna get them back. Maybe I could get another jar off of her, and maybe we can do a video of her talking about how she did them. Or in the summertime, we'll just have to do a video of her making them. Maybe both. Who knows? But they were delicious. She did a wonderful job on them, and they were crisp and crunchy and just good. They were good, especially for somebody that doesn't like sweet pickles, but they were good. We eat a lot of pickles around here, so looking forward to secret. Yeah, I am too, because that was I guess that was her first time doing the sweet pickles, and I don't know how she did it. I don't know. Now I'll tell you something that I do. Let me show you all something. Let me see if I can. I'm right next to the fridge here. So I cheat in the summertime. And this is Boar's Head Kosher Dill Pickle Spears. And yeah, she did a great job with it. And all that's in here, it says ingredients: cucumbers, water, vinegar, carrots, salt, fresh dill, garlic, spices. And then, so what I do is when we buy pickles, like a jar like this, in the summertime, because I don't go through the process of canning them and then turn around and eating them. What I do is I take, just like for fresh eating, I take pickle juice like that, and I cut up our cucumbers, and like in spears or in like the circles or however I want to do them, and I put them in just store-bought pickle juice like that in the jars with the lids on, and let them sit for a few days. And the longer you let them sit, the better tasting they get, but they stay decent in them jars, and we can eat them fresh like that. And then, of course, we did the sweet canned pickles, or she did the sweet canned pickles. We didn't do any dill this year because we were saving up for her sweet pickles. And she did them a few different ways. She did them in a big jar. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you buy it like that, if you buy like the kosher dill and it's got like the actual spices in it. Yeah. Well, see, that's Lakin, you can't keep her out of pickle juice. She loves drinking pickle juice. And so we typically always have pickles on hand and pickle juice. We save it, and so that she can drink it even after the pickles are gone. She drinks the pickle juice. And so, ain't that crazy for an 8-year-old little girl just to drink pickle juice? You gotta keep her out of it because she will come in here and fill a glass of pickle juice and drink on it. I don't know how she does. I don't know how she drinks it that much. I like pickle juice, but not that much that I can just drink a whole glass of it. But she does, and so like I said, we keep pickle juice on hand and just jars of pickle juice. And so in the summertime, just for fresh eating, you go out in your garden, you cut up some cucumbers, and you pop them in there, and in a few days or a week or so, you can go in there and get your pickles. And we eat a lot of, I don't know. I don't know. I know people that like pickled eggs. My grandmother my Nana liked pickled pig's feet. She ate pickled pig's feet. And I think my husband likes pickled pig's feet, but I've never done it. Something about a pickled egg, just, I can't. I can't do it. He can eat them and be just fine with it, but I can't. So I've never done it. I'd say you could. I'd say if they're, obviously if they're boiled, you should be able to keep them refrigerated. I don't know if you could boil it, put it in the pickle juice, and then, I guess you could can it because they do, don't they? I don't know. I don't know. That'd have to be something to look up. That would be interesting. I might would try it for him to see if he liked it. Don't usually like the pickled eggs. Aren't they like a reddish pinkish color? Like when you buy them out of the store, they're like a pinkish reddish color. I wonder if that's like a coloring for looks, or if it's based upon how they need to be. Excuse me. Yeah, based upon how they need to cook. I just keep in refrigerator an old pickle juice, and they fade green. Oh, so you do it? Oh, well, I completely misread what you said. She can boil eggs. Put them in juice. I thought you said, can you boil eggs? I missed the whole she part. Huh? That would be interesting to try. If Ain would eat them, I would probably do it. I'll have to ask and see if he would actually eat that. I would try it. I'm the type of person, I don't want to say absolutely anything, but most things, especially new things, I'm picky about textures in my mouth. And so there's certain things that I don't like shrimp. I can't eat shrimp. The texture of it is just more than I can handle. There's just a few things that I just can't handle the texture of. But I'm open to trying at least. I'm open to trying most things that I can think of at least once. Even weird things. I feel like I could set my mind to trying them just once. As long as it's not moving. I don't know if I could eat something that's moving. I don't think I could do that. But trying most things once. And so that's a mentality that I've instilled in Lakin as well. She don't like potato salad. I put potato salad on her plate tonight. I said, just try it. If you don't like it, you don't have to eat it. If you like it, eat it. And so I know a lot of kids are picky eaters, but Lakin is not a picky eater, and I don't know if she's just born that way or if it was just something that we did. But I've always just, when it comes to food, try it one time. If you don't like it, you don't have to try it again. And so we just, if she says she don't like something, and I make it for supper, I put it on her plate. If she tries it and don't like it, then she doesn't have to eat it. And so that's how we've always done, and it's worked out well. Because some things, especially as a child, some things just look gross when you're a kid, but you don't know until you try. You don't know if it's gross until you try. I remember when me and Andy started dating, I'd never had greens before. If it's not good, she'll tell you. Yeah, she would. If it's not good, she would tell me. Yeah, if it's not good, she would tell me. But when me and Andy first got together, I'd never had greens. I don't know if my mom and dad didn't like greens or what, but they just never, like collard greens or mustard greens or dandelion greens or all the greens. As far as I know, that was just not something that we grew up eating. And when me and Andy were dating, he said, you try these greens, and I said no, I can't do it. And mind you, when me and Andy got together, I was really young. I was just 18 when we got together, and so I don't have the same mindset as I do now as an almost 30-year-old. I don't have the same mindset, but I said no, I can't do it. And he's like, just try them. And so I tried them, and I loved them, and I love greens. I could eat greens all the time. Probably quite a few times a month. Maybe not every week, but I don't know, because the last few meals that we've had greens every meal, because somebody brought me a bag of greens from Alabama. A family member did. And so we've been eating on them greens. Well, our greens in the garden didn't do no good. We planted them too late, and I knew we did. I knew we needed to plant them weeks before that, but we didn't give them time to grow up. And once they got sticking out of the ground, the frost hit them and they were gone. But anyways, I love greens now, and so now that I'm older, I've set my mind to if I don't, then that's all right. You don't have to like something, but you need to try it at least one time. Yeah, that is Appalachian cooking. Is that something that you all eat? Is that something that's frequent in your area? We do stuff. I don't know, something about Appalachia. We just cook stuff differently. And so I was talking to somebody the other day. Oh, it was on that live that I did with Family Trails. And I was talking to him, and we were talking about green beans, and he was talking about like sauteing them in butter and salt and stuff like that. And those are good. I've had them like that, but that's not how we eat greens. Like when we think, or green beans, when we think of green beans in our area, we're thinking like boiled and taters. No, I can't get it right. Need help how to cook. Well, I'll tell you one thing about it. We might do things a little different when it comes to cooking here, but there ain't no complaints. KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, exists for a reason, because we just cook. We cook different. Now, I can't take no credit though for knowing how to cook, because Andy is who taught me how to cook. I've said it in some of my cooking videos. When we got together, I did not know how to. I don't know how to cook nothing. I could make like. Trying to think even what I knew how to make. I knew how to make chili. That was something that we ate a lot when growing up, and so I'd watch my dad, do it. And I knew how to make chili, and He loves my chili. And I knew how to make chili. Anything boiled, I guess I could boil, like I could boil water. And so I didn't know how to cook. And he ate a burnt meal and over seasoned meal or not enough seasoning meal for many years. Love his heart. Before I ever actually got it down, and there's still some things that I mess up. But I went from not liking cooking to hating cooking, really, and then to not really liking it to I love cooking now. And I love, you get a lot of views on cooking videos. Yeah, I don't know is it because we cook different? Is it because Appalachian cooking is just so different? Is that what it is? Because never in my life did I ever think that I would be known for cooking. That was not something that I thought would be something that I would be known for, especially since I was an adult. I was 18 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old, not knowing how to cook. I guess I knew kind of how to cook when I was 20, maybe. But at 18, I didn't know how to cook. And I lived mostly off of, I don't know what I even lived off of. It wasn't much. I was tiny. When me and Andy got together, I only weighed like 110 pounds. And so I got a lot bigger once I learned how to cook. And once me and Andy got together, he fed me quite a bit. And so I didn't live off of much when me and him first got together. Like I said, I was really small. And so I can't even remember what I lived off. Probably ramen noodles. And before work, I would like heat up those packets of like oatmeal that had like the fruit in it. And then I worked at restaurants, and so I worked at multiple restaurants, and so for the most part, I just ate what the restaurant had, and that's what I lived off of. And so I never had to really cook for myself, like I said, unless it was like boiled. But I did learn. I have a love for bread. I love cooking, but I have a love for bread, and hopefully one day once I get up the courage, I can maybe start on sourdough. But I don't know, like something about bread, which I love to eat bread. I love carbs in general. I love bread in general, just to eat it. But I love just making bread. But I finally got a recipe for rolls. And this roll video, guys, has been since Thanksgiving. It's still it's sitting waiting to be edited. I have not finished it, mostly because I haven't typed out the recipe. I've got it wrote down, but I haven't typed it out. And so I don't have it. Maybe I can work on that soon. But I found the perfect roll recipe, finally. I kept making rolls and kept making rolls. And usually I just make rolls for like Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that. But I don't make them throughout the year very much, if at all. Maybe, I don't know. I don't make them very much. And so I finally found my favorite roll recipe this Thanksgiving. And so I've got a video for that. I need to post it. But I love just making bread. I love, even if it don't turn out, I love it. I love the act of making yeast bread, and I just love it. And so hopefully soon I can, if it ever comes out, if the roll video ever comes out, I have the footage. It's there. It's just waiting to be edited. Maybe I can work on it tonight. Maybe I can work on it this evening before bed. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why, but I love bread. And so that's my next endeavor. I've learned how to cook like a decent human being. And so now I need to learn how to move on to different types of bread. Like I said, sourdough maybe. When I watch sourdough videos and when I watch videos of people talking about sourdough, I'm so Lakin can help type it. Yeah, I'm so intimidated. I'm intimidated. It kind of scares me. I don't. Sourdough seems just so time consuming and something that I just I don't know if I would have the I don't know if I'd have the time for it. I would forget about it. I would probably forget to feed the starter, and I don't know. And so I don't know. Maybe. I mean, like I said, I love making bread, and so it would just have to be something. We love sourdough. Like we have a Amish Mennonite store in our area, and they make fresh cinnamon rolls and bread and stuff every day. And hi, Ark. Um, fresh bread and cinnamon rolls and stuff like that every single day, and it is so delicious. But I've never just like buckled down and said you're gonna learn sourdough because it's just so intimidating. I know. See, the thought to me is that it's just going to be something that I'm going to forget. I have so much going on all the time. Yeah. Well, see, we have a lot of Amish in our area, and there is it's a grocery store essentially. Um, you can get all the things. You can get local beef, local pork, um, canned goods. You can buy things in bulk like sugar and flour and coffee and all kinds of stuff. Marshmallows, cocoa powder, tea. It's a really great store. It's kind of out of our way, and so we don't go very much. But when we do, we love their homemade breads and baked goods. Their meat is really good. Their local meat is really good, and it's for a decent price. Honestly, a lot of times, meat, especially local, and meat that's not braised with all kinds of things in it. I'm not going to get into that, but all kinds of things in it is usually expensive, but it's a decent price for what it is. And they're really good people, and so the food is really really good. But just besides that store, out around our farm, there is a large population of Amish people, and so and a lot of those women, like outside their houses, they'll have signs that say like fresh milk, or butter or eggs, or they sell like meat rabbits. They'll process your deers. I used to pick up their frozen pot pies, so delicious. I've never had an Amish pot pie. Some stuff around, I don't know if you've had the same experience, but some stuff around here, depending on who the lady is that does the cooking, some stuff seems kind of bland. Like they don't season it very well, and I don't know if it's just the cook or the Amish food in general. And so usually we just go for like the pies, the sweets, the breads, stuff that really can't be, messed up. But as far as things like that, I've never had a Amish pot pie. It sounds really good though. I like pot pie in general. I have you ever? My sister makes I love all your videos, Kentucky Girl here as well. Hey, Karen, I haven't heard from you in a while. I hope that I remember you all were moving into a house and you were worried about your garden or getting a garden started. I hope that your garden year was wonderful, and I hope that the move to your new house was great. Us Kentucky girls got to stick together. But my sister makes little pot pies and like muffin tins. And I make meatloaf in muffin tins. And so, and the reason why I make meatloaf in muffin tins, it's been working so much. Lots of sick people now. Oh, yeah, sickness is going around. It's a mess. Everybody seems to be getting sick. I hope it's just the time of the year, and once we get some sunshine and some warmth, we'll be doing better. Oh. Oh no. Not that. I believe we recently had that as well. A few months ago. Well, when was that? I don't know. It was the beginning of December or something. And it was rough. And it seemed like it was rough this time around. The virus was more rough this time around than it was the second time. We've had it 3 times. If we had it this last time, but the second time it wasn't too bad. The first time, it was when it first came out and it was rough. But this last time was really rough. So we'll be praying for you. I hope you get to feeling better. Yeah. Binge watch, yeah. Well, guys, I was talking about meatloaf. And my sister makes the little, she makes pot pies in muffin tins. And I've not tried them that way, but it got me thinking about, I tried homemade egg bites in muffin tins for a change, and it was good. Okay, well, yeah, it's something about the reason why I make the meatloaf and the muffin tins, I call them mini meatloafs, is the flavor is so good. I take pine needle tea with turkey tail mushroom buildup, immune system. Karen Ark Wildman knows what he's talking about. He knows all about that stuff. We drink goldenrod tea for that, but he really knows. He knows all the things about that stuff. Pine needle tea with turkey tail mushroom builds up the immune system. Turkey tail mushrooms. I've never heard of turkey tail mushrooms. I'm going to have to look those up and see if they grow in our area. Yeah, I've never heard of them. But something about the meatloaf in those little tiny muffin tin things, it's so flavorful. And so she makes those pot pies, the little like personal mini pot pies, and they're seem to have better taste. It's something like just being in a small concentrated area. And so we don't even eat meatloaf in any other way now. I don't even make a loaf. I make mini meatloaves, and they are delicious. And just I put a lot of pepper and onion in our meatloaf, and just those flavors are just so concentrated in them little cups that they're absolutely delicious. Maybe I'll have to do a recipe on that one time. The meatloaves. Yeah, you just read my mind. Yeah, I'll probably have to do that. Now that one's a really, really good one. And you can't mess up meatloaf. Well, you can, but it's hard to mess up meatloaf. And so, I've messed it up before, but not so bad it wasn't edible. Yes. Yeah, that's what we were talking about, Karen. Daisy Q is trying to convince me to put more videos out on food-related topics because she wants to see some more Appalachian cooking, which you probably know about Appalachian cooking, being a Kentucky girl. She could Karen could probably tell you tell you how to cook just as well as I could. She could probably cook better than me. Maybe. I'm putting a lot on your shoulders, Karen. I'm handwriting down recipes in binder with page protectors. Gonna make these from. That's wonderful. I've got. See, I think about that a lot about writing down. She said, "Girl, I can throw down some food." You probably can cook better than me. I can guarantee it. I've never had the C virus. Took care of my son and dad and wife when they had it. Well, I went a while without having it, but our little girl got it this last time, and she is on medication for an autoimmune disease she has, and it affects her immune system, and we can't take any. She can't take anything extra. Or she couldn't take anything extra with the medication that she was on, as far as like immune building things, and we had to be careful about different medications as well, even such as like Tylenol and things like that. And so she was really, really sick for a while, and it took her a while to beat it because she was so. Her immune system was so low, and in the process of her being sick, being the mama I am, and I held her the whole time, and so it was about a week after she was trying to get over it, I got it, and my husband never got it. He did good, but I got it. I made fried pork chops tonight with fried taters. Corn. That sounds good. Yeah, well, Andy and Lakin both have an autoimmune disease. They have variations of the same type, but she was on a medication that essentially is a cancer medication, but it was to decrease her immune system, that way we could get the autoimmune disease under control. And so in that period of time, she caught the virus, and so with her immune system already being low because of that medication, and then on top of that getting something, a strong virus like that, it was hard for her little body to push it off. Sorry, cooking videos. Oh, I do that all the time. Push it before it's ready to go. Cooking videos bringing views. Yes, people love the cooking videos. The pork chops sound really good. I was telling them we had country ham. What all did we have? We had country ham, potatoes,
mac and cheese,
potato salad, mac and cheese, deviled eggs, carrots, and greens for supper.
It ain't a bad supper, though.
She said it ain't a bad supper, though. And we were just talking about pickles, and she's in here in the pickle jar right now. Yes, that's what I have.
Never have enough pickles, y'all.
Mm-hmm. And a fusion once a month. It is chemo. Yeah. Yeah, it blocked your comment and said, "How to review. Us Kentucky girls can cook enough to smack your mama." It held it in review. We are not actually going to smack your moms. I'm trying to get it where it'll show it. So somebody held the comment, Karen. You're getting the comments held. They've done held your comment for review. Yeah, that's what we were talking about, the meatloaf in the small. Something about it in like a smaller pan just makes it. I guess just the flavors stick together a little bit better. I can't believe they held that. It's okay. It's okay. I tried to show it, and then it said a monitor is holding it for review. Bad, ma'am. Be a Karen. You've done accomplished. What is it? You've done achieved the title of your name. You've done achieved it. I don't know. It's what it said. I don't know who the monitor is because I said I don't have. I tried to look. Another monitor just handled this. It says so. You have been reported to the YouTube people, and they are blocking your comments about smacking mamas. No more of that, Karen. You're not allowed to say those things. Ark Wildman said YouTube does it sometimes. It has to be YouTube that did it. You're gonna have to, what is it like they did in school? Stick your hand out and tap your hand. No more of that. Yeah, I've never had meatloaf in a Dutch oven. It sounds good. I guess you're talking about like a cast iron Dutch oven. Is that what you're talking about? You do a lot of things on the fire, so I'm assuming that you're talking about a cast iron, which we primarily use cast iron here. Besides my pots are not. Ark Wildman puts a lot of videos out about cooking on a fire. We did squirrel on the fire. I don't know if you've seen it or not. It's in our squirrel video, and we cooked squirrel on the fire, and it was better. So we got antsy. We typically, how we eat squirrel is we fry it. And so, we process the animal, and then we fry it, as in like deep fry. The animal, and then we usually have squirrel gravy with biscuits, biscuits and gravy, and squirrel is the meat, and usually fried taters is usually how we do it. And I haven't done any videos besides this one on the fire. I cannot eat Alvin. I just not that good. Oh, it's delicious. Squirrel is so good. It's funny you call them tree rats because we call them
Chicken in a tree.
we call them chicken of the tree. Is what we call them. But I'll tell you why in just a second. So anyways, we did a video on it, and we cooked the squirrel, and Andy was cooking it, and I thought we need to wrap this and put it in, but wrap it in foil and put it in butter. Well, we didn't. We kept just putting butter on it and kept putting butter on it and kept putting butter. It was the driest squirrel I've ever tasted. It was like jerky. We jerkied the squirrel, so it was not good. And I knew when we were doing it, it needed to be wrapped. We're gonna have to hold that moisture in. There's not enough fat there, but we dried it out, and it was not. It had it as far as taste goes, it had a smoky, fiery taste, and that was good. A campfire taste to it, but it was dry. It was really dry. Okay, let me tell you the story of why we call it chicken in the tree. So, yeah, it's really windy. And to the news, she was asking about the weather. According to the news anchor that Andy just watched a little while ago, we're supposed to be getting accumulation of snow tonight into tomorrow, and it's supposed to snow tomorrow. But But we call it chicken of the tree, and the reason why is because when Lakin was little, we don't lie, like, so we don't do like Santa Claus and things like that. So we don't lie, and she was little, and so she always, 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 always. This is my little country girl for you. Anytime Andy brings any type of any animal that he has. I'm trying to say this because we're being monitored. Any animal that he has harvested from the natural environment, such as fish, squirrel, all the things, anything that he brings in, she always watches him process it. And so she knew, like she knew that it was different than the chickens we have. Yeah, fish, just, anything from the environment that he harvests and brings in. She always watches and process it. She always has. So, she, like him processing fish and squirrel and all that. So she had seen him process this squirrel. But we always called it chicken of the tree because it tasted like chicken in the tree. And I guess we did it so that it would be easier for her to kind of understand. But one day we were sitting here at the house, and my father-in-law came over. We were making supper, and of course we were making it like we typically do. We deep fried, the chicken. It was, like battered and fried. Or not the chicken, the squirrel. It was battered and fried. We had biscuits and gravy, squirrel gravy, and I've never had it. I'll try anything once. It's really, really good. Squirrel is really good. And I've got a video on it. It's on, I don't know what playlist it's on. It's on there though, and y'all can see how we processed and cooked it. We cooked it on the fire. Don't cook it like we did. We did it the wrong way. But I can't remember what I was saying. But anyways, we were sitting in the house. I can't remember if we were ate in the living room that time, or I think we ate in the living room. And at the time, she was real little. She was about 3 years old. And when we would eat, I would have like a little table for her, and she would have a chair. It used to sit, there's pictures of it, and it used to sit in our living room. It was like her little table and chair. And so she was sitting down eating, and my father-in-law, we always called it chicken of the tree. And my father-in-law said, "Oh, this is the best squirrel I've ever tasted." And when he said that, it runted for her. And she's like, "This is squirrel." And so it runted for her, but she eats it now, no problem. It ain't no big deal to her now. I mean, she has a better understanding of where her food comes from than what she did at 3 years old. But she wasn't very fond of the fact that it was, although I don't know why it didn't like register in her. It was just her, her little mind. It just didn't register to her that what he was processing was squirrel. Where we called it chicken of the tree, she just thought of it like chicken. And so that's what we call it. But what'd you call it, a tree rat? Are they like a rodent? Like a rat? Does anybody know? Would they be, is a rat a rodent? I know like a possum is a rodent, right? So I don't know. I believe so. Well, they're good. There's a season for them, though. I mean, you got to be careful. There is a season for squirrel, and I can't remember, like, what. I think it's 7. I don't know what I can't remember exactly what the law. We never get the amount. We never exceed the amount. Rat is a rodent too. I was thinking they were, but I wasn't sure. My goodness, Karen. When I think rodent, I think like possum. But a possum, all it is a giant rat. Would any of you all try possum? Would any of y'all try possum? I want to ask before you all judge me for my answer. So, Karen, would you try possum? They're annoying at my dad's house. He caught 190 squirrels and released them about a mile down the road. I should tell him he should start eating them. Yeah, eat them. Yeah, they're delicious. Fry them up. That's my favorite way to have them is fried. Karen says no, that she will not eat possum. Okay, y'all don't judge me because I want to try possum. It's on my bucket list. But now, y'all don't get me wrong. I don't want to try like a possum off the side of the road. I'm not talking about like going to getting roadkill. What I'm talking about is like getting a possum and, you know, like feeding it corn or something like to clean it out. And the reason why I want to do it, yeah, well, the reason why I want to do it is because back in the olden days, I don't know, Karen, if you've heard any stories like this, but back in the olden days, they did eat possum. If I'm not mistaken, one of my husband's grandmothers, they would catch possum and clean it out like you would, you know, like you would any wild thing, I guess, and clean it out with corn like they would, you know, if they were just done eating roadkill or whatever, they wanted that out of their system. So however long it took for the possum to get out of the system, they would feed it. My screen went blank. Can y'all see me? I don't know. But I just want to try it. I want to get one. Can everybody see me? Or is it black? I just want to get one, feed it out, clean it, you know, clean it out real good, and then try it. And just say, so I can say that I've tried possum. They say it's greasy. Go to the Gordon roadkill. Okay. Corn and roadkill. I can't get my eyes are crying. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, Karen. You're making my sides hurt. Oh gosh. It's hurting to breathe. I can't get it. Oh, my sides hurt. I can't breathe. Oh. Listen, you gotta be willing to try everything at least one time. We've done talked about it. You gotta be willing to try it. My eyes are watering.
What happened?
I'm not talking about eating it after it's eat roadkill, Karen. It's gotta eat the corn first. How about no? Listen, if you're starving, you would do it too. And so that's why we're just getting back to our roots now. Just getting back to our roots. Listen, my dad is from Missouri. And on the way, corn pudding. I don't know. I've never had corn pudding, but it doesn't sound good. We were on our way from Missouri to Kentucky, and we just so happened to pull off on this area, and it was, my mom used to have a t-shirt, and it was a little store, and it was called The Other White Meat. or something like that. It had to do with possums. And the shirt that she got had a possum on it, and it said the other white meat. And so, and they made like a big joke about eating possum. I mean, it sounds really, really gross because of what they are, but it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things that I would just like to try. I don't know. I'm weird like that. And so, but I've heard their meat is greasy, or is really greasy, and raccoon, I guess, is the same way. I would try coon too, but I can't remember if their meat was greasy or dry, like it didn't have hardly any fat. But I wouldn't like I said, I wouldn't pick one off the side of the road. Don't make that. Why? You don't want to see me cooking possum? Listen. Might have to ship some to your house. You ain't too far away. Don't be surprised if a possum shows up on your doorstep. Not him too. Yes, Ricky the raccoon as well. At least they're not as dirty as the possum. You gotta try it first. Would you all take my word for it if I tried it first? Karen probably would not. She would not take my word for it, I don't believe. There is actual videos. Y'all had to look it up. There's actual videos of people on YouTube who show how to cook possum. I think that's what got me interested in it. Is actually like Andy watching videos on how to cook possum as a joke, and I was like, oh, well, I'll try that. No, and none here. Daisy Q, you don't want me to send you down some possum? I vote believing the words you say. Possum what? I'm late getting home for that. Andy don't want no possum. We like bobcat and beaver too. Is beaver greasy? Because I've heard beaver meat's really greasy. Not. You can keep them all. Andy's not for it either. He's my own husband, and he ain't even on board with cooking possum. Little does he know he would be the one that had to process it. Because not me. Not me. Oh, well, thank you, Karen. Thank you for that. Let me keep them all. Listen, when you all are out here in the wilderness starving and I'm eating possum, y'all are going to be jealous. It's my supper. Listen, like I said, y'all, when the apocalypse comes and I'm eating possum, y'all are going to be... Okay. Yeah. See, I'd always heard it was real oily. Karen, I can't keep it together long enough to talk. I'd always heard beaver was oily. That's something I would like to try as well, but it's not really necessarily on my bucket list. Like I said, I'm open to trying most things at least once. Andy said he don't want no possum, but you know what? I don't know about him. I don't even know how you would cook it. I don't think it would be that, honestly, I don't think it would be that good. But if you're hungry, if you're just out there, if the apocalypse comes and you don't have a taste for possum, you might be in trouble. Yeah, I'm glad you caught me too. This is what happens when you get two girls from Kentucky together. We can't keep it together. I mix with hamburger and make beaver burgers. Okay. So it's kind of a meat, like a filler. I will starve. Let the zombies have me. They're cute, so maybe good. Yeah, they are really sweet. I don't know about your all's area, but here beaver are considered a nuisance animal. And so they get got quite often. Now down the road from us, there is a big dam and a big, huge area where the beavers have blocked off. It's on somebody else's property, and so I don't think that they care that the beavers are there. And so they've been there for, I don't know, maybe going on 3 years. They've been there and have it. The only thing is they're killing the trees. Because they block the water off and the trunks are getting like they're dying because they're getting so wet. Kentucky girl that are tired make it worse. We don't have many beavers here, or I never see them. See, I can think of multiple areas. Well, one area they blocked an area off so bad that the water was going over the road, and they took their dam down. I don't know if they killed them or harvested them. I don't know if I can say that word on here. If they got rid of them or not. But they knocked their dam down, and so I don't know. But that other area that's down the road from the farm, like I said, I hate to see, like, I mean, I know they have to block off areas and they have to build dams to, like, survive. But like I said, they're killing the trees. Yeah. Yeah, I think you are. I don't know. I'm gonna say yeah because they're considered a nuisance animal. I don't know if you can per se go after them, but I think if they're on your property, Ark Wildman would know more about it. Which he's in, I believe, in Arkansas. So I don't know if he would know for our area. But I think you can, and we seen we seen a photo the other day that had a man's truck, and his truck was completely full of beaver, and I think that it was in Kentucky. And so I don't know, I'm sure there's a limit on it, but I don't know what the limit is. They have a bounty here in Arkansas. So, yeah. Yes, they're considered nuisance. That's what I was thinking. There was a guy, like I said, there was a guy that we seen a picture, a guy from Kentucky, and he had a truck full of beaver. It was a lot of them. Are they overpopulating? Is it because they were... Because I know they were protected at one point in time, I thought. How I go live usually every Sunday night, sometimes twice a week. I usually schedule them, and they're usually around this time of the evening. Sometimes I just pop up and do lives, but a lot of times I schedule them. And so you can keep an eye on my page and see when I schedule them. But typically every Sunday I go live. I didn't go live this last Sunday, and so I didn't do that. But I do go live. I try to go live every Sunday. Are they Ark Wildman? Do you know if they're overpopulating? If that's what's going on? Yeah, I appreciate you hanging out. It's been really fun. Yeah, definitely. Catch more lives. We talk about all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. Yeah. See, I knew about traps. The only thing that I can think is that they've become such a nuisance because they were protected. I know I know, back in time, decades ago, that they were overdoing it with furs, and really hitting it to everything. And so I'm sure beavers were hit as well. It seems like, though, in recent years, and you'll probably agree with me on this, that things that everybody's against, everybody's against going after, or most people's against going after animals now. And now you're having problems with diseases and overpopulation, and like you were talking about bounties on beavers. It's because they're overdoing it now. There's so many of them, and you're to the point, like raccoons. When my husband was a child, a teenager growing up, they had coon dogs, and they went out and, would get coons and, or raccoons. And now you don't hardly hear of anybody doing it, and, there's overpopulation. Now, deer in our area are being overdone. And you can't hardly find deer like you used to. In our area, just when me and my husband got together, we've been together for 10 years, the population of deer in our area has went down dramatically. They're being overdone. I've seen lots of skunks lately. They're out bad. Skunks aren't bad in our area. It seemed like, but Ark Wildman might be able to confirm, but I'm thinking February. Is it February and March is their breeding season? It seems like it's a weird time. I was thinking that around February, at least in our area. Yeah, it's their mating season. That's probably why you're seeing them, because it's mating season right now. Yeah, February. That's what I was thinking. You were talking about seeing them, and I thought, yeah, they're out. We come up on a skunk one time. Well, we've got multiple skunk stories. But one time Andy was out out doing the H word, and he had a mama skunk and some babies just come out. He was in a field, and they come out, and those little baby skunks just ran right through his legs, and and followed him to his truck. He said they were really, really friendly, and I've heard of people saying they were like cats, and cutting their smelly bag thing out and their scent glands out, and raising them like a cat. Skunk stew. I don't think I could do skunk. That smell gets in their meat. No. Is that funny that I would do possum, but I wouldn't do skunk? Like I'm picky or something. Gosh. Like I'm picky. No, I can't do skunk. No, there's something about the thought of that smell getting into the meat. Gotta have the corn. It would be like eating a cat. I can't do it. I can't do it. Now, maybe in the apocalypse I could, but not. No, I can't do that. I've heard that smell, like people have trapped them, and I've heard that smell gets in the meat and it can't get out. Actually, the same guy that we watched the video of eating the possum and cooking it, he said that once it gets in the meat, that's it. It'd stink my house up. Yeah, I would say that. Skunk is off the now, guys. But I will try anything one time, but I won't be cooking it. I won't be cooking it. Somebody else is going to have to cook it. Somebody else is going to have to cook it. Oh, I was telling you, we were driving down a back road, and there was this field. It was a cow field. And I guess skunks eat like grubs and worms and stuff. And it was a cute little skunk. It was just minding its own business. This little tail was just up, and it was walking. And it was going through that field and going like this and scratching up them. And it didn't care one bit. You know, like if a deer sees you or something, it runs off. But a skunk just goes about its business. So, like I said, you know, those skunks were running through his legs and stuff, and the little baby skunks. And the skunk, that skunk was out there just scratching. Sorry for yawning. That's rude. I don't know what time is it getting to be? 9:30. That's why I'm yawning. Karen's got all this energy because she's laying on the couch binge watching Lantern Creek Farm videos with the virus. So she ain't got no bedtime. Chicken hawk. Really? You're an hour off from me. Chicken hawk. That is interesting. There was some type of dove. Was it a dove? There was some type of bird that my husband's grandmother ate. They would rob nest. They would rob nest, and but it wasn't a chicken. It wasn't a chicken hawk. He's all the way in the back. I can't ask him. But it was some type of bird. I want to say like a dove or something, but I might be wrong. That they would eat during the Depression, and I guess when they first got married as well, because they were, you know, starting out. They were poor, and so, but yeah, I've heard of eating birds like that. I guess they would go up in the nest and get them. Or maybe get the eggs. It was something, there was a story like that they would take them, somehow get them off the nest, or I can't remember, but it was a smaller bird, but that's what they would eat. And something else that my husband's grandmother used to talk about during the Depression and stuff is they were in a real mountainous area. Field larks and crows. Yeah. I've never had either one of those. Now there's a crow season though. Is there a crow season? I was gonna say there's a crow season. I think that there is, or they're considered a nuisance in our area, and they can be got anytime. It's one or the other, but we had seen a guy that I don't know how to say it without getting in trouble. That H word, the crows, and but he uses them in his traps. He uses them for bait. He puts them in his traps. So he said they'd eat them, but he wasn't a big fan of them. Did you like the crows? They're kind of a scavenger as well, aren't they? Do they scavenge like what am I trying to think of? A vulture would? Or are they soak the breast of the crow in 7-Up overnight? Tastes like deer. Huh. That is interesting. That's very interesting. We've got quite a few crows around the farm. Actually, they snatch up baby chicks. And so they're bad for snatching up baby chicks. So that's very interesting. That might be something that we could possibly try. I've never heard that before. That man said that he wasn't a big fan of them. He said they weren't horrible, but he wasn't a big fan of them, and so I don't like crows. Yeah, they're not. They're annoying, but they're also, like I said, really bad for getting our baby chicks. They love baby chicks. And so where our chickens are free range, I mean, they have shelters to go under, but they snatch them baby chicks up pretty quick. And we've never, I don't think that we know of, we've never had any issues with them getting in the garden, but I think they're pretty bad for getting in the garden as well. I know a lot of times you hear, at least on TV shows and cartoons, they show crows getting in corn. And so, well, a scarecrow, ain't that what they're for? To scare the crows from the garden? We don't have no problem with, as far as I know, we don't have no problems with crows getting in the garden, but we'll have to knock on wood, because it might happen. We've not had much issue with it, but like I said, they snatch up babies. I think that they're more of like an opportunistic bird, that they take whatever they can get. Sorry guys, my nose is running. Scarecrow, yeah. I was like, do they get in the garden or do they not? And the whole thing about scarecrows is that I guess they scare crows. My goodness. It's getting late, guys. It's getting past my bedtime, I think is what it is. I was thinking though, Ark Wildman, are they like a opportunistic, are they like a scavenger? Like or are they just, are they more picky about what they eat? Because I'm not sure. I always thought of them kind of like a scavenger, like be more opportunistic, which I don't know if they're as bad as like a, what do you call them? Like a vulture that eats dead things, that eats roadkill. Do they eat roadkill? Because I really don't know. I'm showing how very little I know about most things on this live. And Karen's making fun of me for it. Ooh, so they do eat roadkill. Ooh. Now I'm not so, now I'm not so gung-ho about eating them in 7-Up. Soaking them in 7-Up and eating them. Now that I know they eat roadkill. I would never, she said. Like I said, I'd try anything, or I would think that I would be able to try anything one time, but we'll see. We'll see if I ever have the opportunity to eat. Daisy Q said she wouldn't eat crow either. We just have to see. You put eat cow. Eat crow. Corrected yourself, eat crow. You'd never eat cow, Daisy Q? I don't believe that. I'm just kidding. Have you ever, Karen, because it's an Appalachian thing. Have you ever cooked turtle or ate turtle? It's common in other places, but at least in our area, it's a big Appalachian thing to eat turtle. Snapping turtle. I want to see if Karen has ever made it. Have you ever had snapping turtle? I knew Ark Wildman probably had it. I'll tell you. See, I've never made turtle personally. And I have had it, but when I had it, it was cold. And so, it wasn't as good. It was like a family event, and we had stuff going on. We couldn't show up until late, and what was left of the turtle was like the parts nobody wanted, and it was really cold. Your husband loves it. See, Andy loves it. And where my only experience having it was just the one time and it was cold, I can't really, like, I can't give you an honest opinion on whether I like it or not. I do not like frog. I don't like it.
She's crazy not liking frog.
But the reason why I don't like frog is the texture of the meat. It's just something about the meat's stringy, and I just can't get past it. It's like, I don't know. It's mushy and stringy. It's just a texture thing in my mouth, and I can't do it. We had got a turtle one time, and somebody had caught Andy a turtle and brought it to him at work and gave it to him, and we were gonna clean it and cook it. Love frog legs. My wife won't cook it though. I just can't do. I can't do frog. I can't. I just can't do it. I've never cooked them before. Like, maybe I could cook them for somebody, but it's something about the texture of the meat that I just can't do. The taste isn't bad. Honestly, everybody says it tastes like chicken, and it really does. Frog legs really do taste very similar to chicken, but it's something about the texture of the meat just throws me off. And I've had it multiple times. I've always had it fried, but I've had it multiple times with different people making it each time. I think I've tried it like 3 times in 3 different places. They jump in the pan. Yeah, the tendons and stuff. I knew that they did. But something about every time I've had it, the texture of the meat has not changed. And so I just know that I can't handle the texture. But it didn't have a bad taste. The times that I had it didn't have a bad taste. Yeah, when you cook them in the pan, they hop. They jump. But ain't it, that has something to do with like the tendons in the legs, right? Or like, I don't know, am I saying that right? I don't know if it's the tendons. Whatever it is that makes them actually hop when they're alive is what makes them hop when they're not alive. But somebody brought Andy home a snapping turtle. And she was a good size. She was a really good size turtle. And he had her in a box. And he said, well, why don't you come here and look and see what we got? And Lakin was probably 3 or 4 years old. And 3 or 4 years old. And she named it. She named it Chloe. And so after it was named, obviously we couldn't unalive it. And so we took it down to the creek and took it and let it be free. She said, Daisy Q said, I'm sticking to chicken, cow, pork, seafood, unless I get hungry. Yeah. That's most people. Most people are not up for trying different things. I fried catfish eggs, but don't care for it. I've never had fried catfish eggs. I've never had eggs, fish eggs in general. What do they call that? Escargot? I've never had escargot in general. I'm like I said, I'm open to trying, but I don't think that I would like it. And the main reason why I don't think that I would like it is the texture. I don't think that I would like the texture. I'm not big on catfish. I can eat catfish, but they're not my favorite. My favorite is panfish. Rattlesnake grilled is good. I've never had rattlesnake. Fish eggs. I've never had rattlesnake. But like I said, I'm not... my favorite kind of fish... Now, I like muskie. A lot of people frown upon people eating muskie because it takes so long for them to get bigger, but we've had muskie, fried and baked. I like it both ways. I like panfish, so your crappie, bluegill. I love crappie and bluegill. Catfish, I'm just not a fan of. Bass is okay. But I tell Andy all the time that catfish are bottom feeders. And people are not going to be able to convince me in any other way because they're like, oh no, they're not bottom feeders. And I think they just say that to make themselves feel good. But their mouth is on the bottom of their head. And if something's mouth is on the bottom of their head, then they're a bottom feeder. And and something about a bottom feeder's meat is, to me, is just not as good. It's a good time to get to catch crappie. Our favorite crappie fishing hole, though, I'm sure all of you all experienced the drought that we had over the summer, and we fish a spillway area. And while the drought was on, they did not let much water out of that spillway on the other side. And so now they put that water out in the spillway, and it's run the fish off. And so we haven't been able to catch many. On my bucket list is going to Alaska and catching. I love to try some salmon from Alaska. I would love to try. I like rainbow trout. I've tried rainbow trout. It's good. I don't think I've had salmon before. Andy fly fishes, but he fly fishes for muskie, and he's never caught a salmon. And so I've never had salmon. But I would, especially Alaskan salmon, I would say would be absolutely delicious. I don't think that trout is good grilled. Yeah, that's how I had it. I had it grilled, and it was like a peppery, it was real peppery tasting. It was grilled. I can't remember exactly how it was, but it was peppery tasting, and it was good, honestly. And like I said, I'm weird about different fish. Like, I don't like catfish and stuff like that. I'm not big on bass, but I really did like the trout. I'm wondering if trout is similar to salmon. Do they? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking salmon and trout kind of travel the same waterways, but I might be wrong there. I might be wrong. When I think of trout or salmon, I think of trout, or when I think of trout, I think of salmon, but I might be wrong. I put lemon zest with oranges and bell pepper. That sounds good. That sounds really good. Yeah, that trout I had like a lemony, zesty, peppery taste to it. I don't think it had, that I can remember, I don't think it had onion and bell peppers with it though, but I love onion and bell pepper. I love the flavor that it gives, so I probably would not be very disappointed in it. Which typically we eat fish, most of the time if we eat fish, we eat it fried. We do bake it some, but as far as grilled, we don't have it very much. Although it is good grilled. I don't know why we don't have it as much grilled. Probably because it's just more palatable for most people fried. If you can pretty much fry anything and people will be okay with it. So, tinfoil on the grill. Yeah, that sounds really good, honestly. Any fish that way would probably be really good. Just tinfoil and grill. But like I said, I just haven't had it much like that. Well, the only thing that I can think that I've ever had on the grill would be the trout, like we're talking about with the lemon zest and pepper and stuff like that. That's the only time that I think that I've ever had any fish on the grill like that. But it was really, really good. But some people, like I said, it's more palatable to just fry things instead of grilling them or baking them. But fish is good baked, and like I said, it was good on the grill. So, and it's less. Honestly, it's less work on the grill or baked. But on the grill, I mean, it would be less work. You wouldn't have to do near as much as you would to fry it. Well, guys, we are coming up on 10 o'clock. We are hour and 44 minutes into this live. I think we're going to call it here. I'm losing my voice because I'm getting sleepy. It's past my bedtime. But I appreciate you all hanging out, and we've had a lot of discussions about a lot of different things. And Ark Wildman, I think, joined us for the first time on a live, and Karen joined us for the first time on a live. And thank you all so much for hanging out. Good night, Ark Wildman. I hope you have a wonderful night, wonderful evening. God bless you. And I hope everybody comes back next time. Good night, Karen. I'm going to dream of seafood tonight. Daisy Q said she's going to dream of seafood. God bless y'all. And I hope that we can see you on the next one. This has been a wonderful live. You all are so fun to hang out with. I love getting on here and hanging out with everybody. But we love y'all and with the love of the Lord. And we hope that you all will come back and hang out with us again. Good night, y'all.